What is congenital insensitivity to pain with anhidrosis? Well, it's a kind of disorder that happens when a person's genes mutate. Basically, when the receptor gene mutates, it can't send signals, so the signaling neurons in the cell commit suicide in a process called apoptosis. Without these sensory neurons, the brain can't tell when cells are being damaged, so therefore the afflicted person can't feel pain. Now, that might sound great to some of you, like, I'm invincible, I can't feel a thing, but being insensitive to pain can actually be really dangerous. Individuals with this condition don't have the same responses to things that we do. So, for example, when you and I touch a hot stove, our brains go like, hey, don't do that. But for someone with CIPA, their brain doesn't have that reaction because they can't feel pain or temperature. Some individuals even have spontaneous accidental amputations because they have no idea how much damage they're doing when they bite their tongues or their lips or even their fingers. Another part of CIPA that can be dangerous for these people is a condition called anhidrosis. Anhidrosis is where the affected person has decreased or absent sweating, which may sound great for those of you who are constantly worrying about those embarrassing sweat stains on their t-shirt during gym class, but it's actually a pretty important part of our body's cooling processes. People who don't sweat don't have that internal fan, and therefore they can't cool themselves down. This can make them extremely susceptible to things like high fevers called hyperpyrexia, which in some cases can be fatal, and for others, this overheating can cause things like febrile seizures, which are seizures that happen at very high temperatures. In addition to all of this pretty sucky stuff, people affected by CIPA don't heal bone and tissue as fast as someone without. So therefore, all the damage that happens to them that they can't feel and therefore have a hard time preventing lasts even longer. Other signs and side effects of this condition are thick, leathery skin on their palms, misshapen fingernails or toenails, or patches of hair that don't grow on their scalps, and weak muscles during their childhood. Many people affected by this also have hyperactivity or emotional instability as well as learning disabilities. Individuals with CIPA are usually diagnosed at birth or in infantry, and with medical care can survive into adulthood. While this condition is rare, we have yet to find out just how common or uncommon it is, but what we do know is that the disorder can only be passed down to a child when both parents carry the recessive gene for it. There aren't a lot of ways to treat CIPA directly. One can treat the symptoms, such as putting child-safe things onto everything, making sure the individual never goes out without gloves on a cold day to prevent hypothermia, and so on and so forth. But as of right now, there's no way to treat CIPA to make it completely go away. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm telling you all of this. And to be honest, this information probably won't benefit you in any super meaningful way. Who knows, maybe one day somebody will say, hey, does anyone know what congenital insensitivity to pain with anhidrosis is? And you'll be able to show off and say, I do, but until that day, and if you ever have any spare money lying around, as all of us do, you can consider donating to the National Institutes of Health to help further research into congenital insensitivity to pain with anhidrosis and other such disorders and diseases. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I know it wasn't the most exciting video, but if you liked it, like and subscribe.